In lieu of having a quorum, we do have a subcommittee, so we can go ahead and get started. Senator Carter, would you mind to come in and present Senate Bill 1063 for us, please?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to bring Senate Bill 1063 before the committee. Under current law, if this passes, this will authorize an income tax deduction for retired benefits received by a taxpayer as a result of service in the armed forces of the United States. This act also allows for the deduction of any survivor benefits derived from such service. Pretty simple one-line bill, but I think it's one that's very important to our veterans to make sure that the survivor benefits is not counted toward their income in case of a death of a veteran. So, thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Any questions for the bill sponsor? Seeing none, thank you. Are there any witnesses to testify in support of Senate Bill 1063? Please come up.
Good morning.
Bear with me 1 second.
Thank you, Troy.
Not a problem. Chairman and honorable members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. My name is Troy Williams. I'm here today as legislative chairman for the Missouri Association of Veterans Organizations, also the Department Service Officer and legislative co-chair for the Veterans of Foreign Wars. But most importantly, I'm here as a voice for thousands of Missouri veterans who returned home from service with life-altering service-connected disabilities. Today, I want to make 3 points. First, why SB 1535 matters. Second, why it must be seen as a first step, not the finish line. And third,
Excuse me, Troy.
yes, sir.
We're on 1063 now, and if you can hold off on that one, do you have,
Oh, I'm
Any
sorry.
testimony for that
I'm
one?
in the wrong spot.
do you want to wait for a minute then?
I can.
It probably won't be long.
Okay,
We'll be right back
that's
to
fine.
it.
I apologize.
That's okay, thank you.
Or you can testify in favor.
Oh, I will say that we're for that as well.
And if you want to fill out a witness form for that, you're welcome to do that as well. Any witnesses in favor of Senate Bill 1063? Any witnesses in opposition? No opposition. How about for information? Seeing none. Senator, thank you for that one.
If I just might add a
One
point
final?
of clarity.
Go ahead.
We did add this to Senator Black's Senate Bill 974, so that is included just for
Okay,
the
very
benefit of
good.
the committee.
Okay, that ends the hearing on Senate Bill 1063. Now, Senator Carter, we want to go ahead and present Senate
Should've
Bill
started with this one, maybe.
1535.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to speak today regarding Senate Bill 1535, the Missouri Disabled Veteran Homestead Tax Credit Act. Our disabled veterans have given everything in defense of our freedoms, and many now face significant financial hardships due to service-connected disabilities. This bill empowers counties to grant a targeted property tax credit on homesteads owned by veterans rated at 100% permanent disability, provide direct local relief where it's needed most. By supporting Senate Bill 1535, we honor their service, ease their burdens, and affirms Missouri's commitment to those who have served. I urge the committee to advance this important legislation. I know other states across the country have similar pieces of legislation, and I would just really like to see if we can get this across the finish line this year, and appreciate your time.
Thank you, Senator. I know that the questions will be asked. They probably already have been coming by email about what is going to replace the money, if any. Has that crossed your mind? Since it's a tax credit, it might not. But tell me what your thoughts are on that if you were to have those questions asked of you.
Thank you. Thank you for that question. Thank you for the opportunity to answer the question. This allows flexibility at the county level for them to give discretionary cuts however they see fit. We know that not everyone is able to do as much as they would like. Some of the more rural areas struggle already with some of this. We don't anticipate this being, there are very few veterans in our state that are permanently disabled, 100% P&T basically. And so but we do want to make sure that the counties at the local level have as much flexibility in implementing it. So I think if you've taken the opportunity to read the legislation, it really does give a lot of that flexibility, so it shouldn't give us too much heartburn. We've been in conversations with our our collectors, and they were surprised at how much flexibility it allowed them. We know that Senate Bill 190 put somewhat of a burden on the counties in regards to implementation and the software that it took, the cost of the software. Again, this gives them that maximum flexibility where they might be able to dovetail the software that they already have to tailor it to this program. So I think if we're going to do it, which I believe that we should, this is the best that we've been able to come up with in regards to making sure that local elected officials have as much conversation in the policy decision-making that
Very
they
good.
can.
Thank you. Any questions for the bill sponsor? Seeing none. Thank you. Are there witnesses in support? Now, Troy, you want to take a second stab at it?
Can I start where I ended? Do I need to start all over?
It depends on, can we splice the tape? Now, if you will start over again,
Okay,
please.
I will do
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you. Chairman, honorable members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. My name is Troy Williams. I'm here today as the legislative chairman for the Missouri Association of Veterans Organizations, also the Department Service Officer and legislative chair for the Veterans of Foreign Wars. But most importantly, I'm here as a voice for thousands of Missouri veterans who returned home from service with life-altering service-connected disabilities. Today, I want to make 3 points. First, SB 1535 matters. Second, why it must be seen as the first step, not the finish line. And third, why this issue directly affects Missouri's future as a place where veterans choose to live. Missouri veterans overwhelmingly support SB 1535. On behalf of the Missouri Association of Veterans Organizations, I respectfully urge this committee to advance this legislation. Senate Bill 1535 provides meaningful relief to 100% disabled veterans by addressing the homestead tax burden. For veterans living on fixed incomes, often unable to work due to service-connected injuries, this relief is not symbolic, it is practical, and it is necessary. However, we view this bill as a critical first step, not the final solution. While this bill addresses the homestead, Missouri continues to place significant tax burdens on disabled veterans through personal property taxes, particularly on vehicles. Missouri stands increasingly alone among the neighboring states in continuing to tax the vehicles of 100% disabled veterans. For disabled veterans, $500 or $1,000 personal property tax bill on modified vehicle is not minor inconvenience. That vehicle is often a medical necessity. It's how they get to their medical appointments, therapy, work, and basic needs. For these veterans, the tax burden becomes a barrier to independence. Senate Bill 1535 wisely uses an opt-in framework. It respects local control while giving counties the ability to protect their most vulnerable residents. It's a fiscally responsible, compassionate, and aligned with the values Missourians expect from their government. Just as importantly, it sends a clear message beyond our borders. It positions Missouri as a true state of choice for veterans and their families. When disabled veterans leave Missouri of tax burdens, we do not lose residents, we lose community leaders, volunteers, caregivers, and families who strengthen our towns and our communities every single day. In closing, I respectfully urge this committee to pass SB 1535 without delay. I also ask you to continue working with us to finish the job by eliminating personal property tax burdens that punish veterans for injuries sustained in service to this nation. Missouri's disabled veterans have already paid their share. It's time to remove the obstacles that stayed in its way of their independence and dignity. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for your indulgence coming back the second time.
Yep, no problem.
Some questions arose in my mind when you were giving your testimony, and that is, would this probably incentivize future service members?
1,000%. I
Okay.
mean, as a service officer and legislative, we get calls from veterans in other states that are moving here to work. And they know that we have zero personal property tax. I mean, you literally got to be in the poverty level to get any benefit from this state. And they want to move to Boeing. We had 3 individuals from Texas that were working for Boeing, wanted to move to St. Louis, but we're looking at Missouri, but also looking at our bills. And of course, we have nothing to offer them. So they move across the border. I have 3 of my service officers, 2 live in Illinois, 1 lives in Arkansas because of that reason. I think it would definitely bring back veterans that have left our state.
And I'm not asking you to divulge any information that is unnecessary here, but I know of some folks who have actually taken personal property particularly and registered them in other states that don't have as steep of fees that we have as well. And so I'm not asking you to do that to spread that information necessarily, but that should probably be kind of a signal to Missouri to do something.
I agree. Let's look at it. Legislators constantly say they want to do more for veterans, right? This is a great state for veterans. Look at the Missouri Veterans Commission, the homes, the cemeteries, our service officer program. We do so many things for veterans, but to get them to live here, we could bring so many more in. Look at Fort Leonard Wood, Whiteman Air Force Base. When they retire, they've been here for a while. They like Missouri, but they leave to go to other states because of our situation with, if you look at every state around us, pull it up on Google search, it will tell you that we just do nothing for our veterans, and every other state we're way, way behind.
Okay, thank you very much. Any additional questions? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony.
sir.
Any other witnesses in favor of Senate Bill 1535? Seeing none, any opposed? Seeing none, how about for information? That was quick and easy. Senator, any final comments?
No, just thank you. That section 9, line 126 begins that local control where they're able to adopt reasonable procedures and promulgate ordinances, rules, and regulations in order to implement it. So just wanted to point that out.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, appreciate it.
And that closed our testimony for Senate Bill 1535. We have now Senator Ben Brown. If you wouldn't mind, come on up. And in the meanwhile, we may have an opportunity to get a quorum, so I may stop you as you're presenting, but we're not there yet. So if you wouldn't mind to go ahead when you're ready, present Senate Bill 1245.
Well, I'm a little disappointed. I thought Senator Weber was coming back just because he wanted to hear my presentation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, for the opportunity to present Senate Bill 1245. For the record, my name is Ben Brown, State Senator for the 26th District. Missouri Senate Bill 1245 creates a formal 3-point preference for veteran-owned businesses when competing for public contracts at the state and local level. Just as we currently have a preference for disabled veteran, minority, and women-owned businesses in the state. The bill would simply expand the preference to include all honorably discharged veterans. This bill recognizes that veterans often face unique challenges transitioning into civilian careers. Entrepreneurship is a pathway many veterans pursue. By offering a procurement preference, the state provides a tangible economic tool to support those who have risked everything to serve and fight for our country. This bill would also promote economic growth within Missouri and provide a clear signal that Missouri is hanging out the welcome sign to military veterans and their families. Currently, 13 other states and the federal government offer veteran preferences for public contracts, and I believe Missouri should show the same appreciation for our service members. Thank you, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator. I'm wondering, is there a current disparity in veteran-owned businesses, and what intrigued you to file this particular legislation?
Well, as you may recall, I filed a pretty substantial veterans package that passed, I believe it was the session before last. I've always been very engaged with the veteran community where I live. I have one brother who previously served in the Army, one that's currently actually commanding a post in Texas in the Army. So veterans issues have always been pretty close to me based on my personal relationships. I've seen the struggles that people deal with, even those that might not have disability status. There's some things that go untreated and for a number of reasons. There's other things that might not be as visible that somebody's struggling with. So that was my reason for wanting to see this expanded to include all honorably discharged.
Very good. Any questions for the bill sponsor? Seeing none. Thank you, Senator. Are there witnesses in favor of Senate Bill 1245?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Rich Aubuchon. I'm here on behalf of the Missouri Valor Alliance Incorporated. We're a nonprofit in support of veterans issues and law enforcement here in Missouri. We are in support of this legislation. I want to give you a little bit of background, just having done this work for the state of Missouri on procurement. When I worked for the Office of Administration, we had lots of these kinds of contracts that would come across your table for procurement, whereby preference points were given already pursuant to statute. So we're not really creating something that's brand new, but we're recognizing as a matter of public policy in this statute, should you find favor with the bill, that would allow for an individual who was honorably discharged to receive 3 preference points. And how that's used in the procurement process is a fair way of providing a public policy enhancement for individuals who have had service whereby they've been honorably discharged. As part of the procurement process, when agencies are looking to buy something, they look at cost, they look at methods of performance, they look at subjective criteria of the bid, making sure that you've qualified all the elements of the bid, and they attach points to all those things. Everybody gets a fair shot at all those points, right? So it's a matter of how you do your proposal. So preference points would be given on top of that. So let's say, for an instance, that there was 100 points that were possible. Preference points go on top of that, okay? So that also applies to women and minority-owned business as well. They have preference points as well. But if those points are on top of whatever percentages that are out there, or points that are out there for the bid, they really would only come into play. I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me interrupt for just a second.
Absolutely.
We're at a crucial spot where we need to get a quorum.
You got a quorum.
So, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Moon,
Here.
Nicola, Weber, Luchtmeyer.
Here.
Quorum is established.
We have a quorum. Thank you for letting us interrupt
Well,
you,
yeah, you
and
bet.
we will proceed.
And I just want to make sure that we understand how preference points would work, and we're not giving something that isn't already in the current framework. Let's say, for instance, that cost, method of performance, all the subjective points were the same, and there were an instance where there was only one veteran-owned business that was honorably discharged. They would receive those extra 3 points, and that individual ostensibly would have more points than the others. So as a matter of public policy, you're saying if everything's equal on all the bids and all the points are about the same, why wouldn't we give it to the individual who had service? And I think that's really all that the bill is trying to do here, and I think that's a good public policy.
Any questions for the witness? Seeing none. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any others, witnesses in favor of Senate Bill 1245? Any opposed? Informational purposes? Seeing none. Senator, any final comments?
Yes, thanks again for the opportunity.
You're welcome. And that closed out the testimony for Senate Bill 1245. Now we'll go to Senate Bill 1619. Sounds like a project.
It won't be.
Thank you, Senator Weber, for coming down.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for allowing me to present to you Senate Bill 1619. For the record, I'm Senator Joe Nicola, serving the 11th Senatorial District, northeast corner of Jackson County. What this bill would do is extend the current paid military leave from 120 hours to cover the military requirement of active duty for reservists and National Guard to 38 days a year. It also includes a provision for volunteer firefighters to get the protections that apply to public employees, except those related to monetary compensation. So in a nutshell, if you step up to serve, Missouri should have your back at work. This bill reduces uncertainty for families, prevents career setbacks for those who answer the call, and gives public employers clear rules to administer leave fairly. So I hope we can move Senate Bill 1619 across the finish line. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Senator. Tell me, I just got the substitute this morning. What is the difference between the original and the substitute?
One of the things they started doing, I found this out last year in a lot of these bills, is most of them referred to the male gender as his, and they've been including her or she and those kinds of things. And all I did is simply went back to the original and just left it as he or him.
Okay, very good. In addition, I noticed that this related to military service, leave for military service, I should say. And then I noticed on page 2 in both the original and the substitute, and you mentioned it, includes volunteer firefighters. And of course, the question popped up in my mind, how is this related to military service?
Well, those that are serving as volunteers in fire districts, I have some in my district as well, that they could just have the time off. They're not going to get any compensation for it because they're volunteers, and so they're exempted from the compensation, but they would at least be able to get the 38 days a year off of work without losing seniority or losing time off or leave or anything like that.
It seems to me, I recall, it's not specific to a particular profession that you're in, but getting that time off, is that not already in statute?
Yeah, it was 120 hours, so this would increase it to 38 days. And 38 days, when I was in the reserves too, you get 2 days a month, so that's 24, and then 14 days during the summer usually
Right.
for training, so that's the total of 38 days.
Okay, very good. Thanks for the clarification.
Absolutely.
I guess there's no other questions by the committee here. Any witnesses in favor? Any in opposition? Information? Seeing none. Any final comments?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That concludes the hearing for Senate Bill 1619, and that, I don't think there's any other business coming before the committee. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second. We are adjourned. We start small and we start small and small.